Kuusi, please.
Yes. Welcome back, punks. This is the Punkery show. We are live after the Verstappen Cup. Your hosts are Rashawn and Hendrik. He is the Formula One correspondent. But this show's gonna be a lot of memes. A lot of memes will be in this show, but for now we'll start with the meme of what we just saw before the show started. Bunch of people filing in to watch the Verstappen Cup, I like to call it, the Formula One snit. And
That was beautiful.
It was beautiful, huh? Your boy, what's his name? Sergio Perez won number 1, right?
Not my boy, but yeah.
You don't drink Red Bull?
No.
Now, I tuned in very late because, first of all, the race started at 9 here, and I don't get up at 9 o'clock, and there's no way I'm going to get up at 9 o'clock to watch a Formula One race. But I tuned in at about 11 o'clock, and I saw there was a red flag. Now, what the fuck happened?
Oh, what happened?
Yeah, what the fuck happened?
Let me try to remember. Someone crashed. Yeah, someone crashed into the wall, and the car split into two. So.
The car split into two after the dude crashed.
After all, this is the real men's sport, so stuff like that can happen.
Oh, Schumacher crashed. So is he okay? He's all good?
Yeah,
he didn't break a leg? There was one Formula car, and then there were 2 cars. I completely missed that. But, yeah, so how long did the red flag last? Because it's like, what? Was it like 20 minutes?
I don't know. I kind of had a nap at that point, so...
Lel.
And also there was
Need more sleep.
If I remember right, there was a red flag in the beginning because of the bad weather, because of the heavy rain.
Some pussy shit. Gotta race in the rain, man, or put the tarp over. I got a PM from Phantom Penis saying, in parentheses, real man sports. I agree. I want to challenge that as well. Formula One being
this sport, this racing sport has always more than 2 turns. So.
Yeah, the turns are very odd. There was that.
Yeah.
The very slow turn right there with the camera angle and all that. I'm sure that's the highlight of the course or some shit. Where did they race? What country? I have no idea.
Monaco.
Oh, Monaco. Okay, the very small one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I know.
The old one, but also, yeah, right. Can be also a little bit boring sometimes because it's really hard to overtake.
Yeah, I saw that at the very end. The top 4 guys stayed there the entire time. But then again, those top 4 guys are always the top 4 every fucking race. So, I'm not too sure it really matters. You know what I mean? The Verstappen team and the Leclerc team seem to always win these damn races.
Pretty much right now.
That's why I'm wondering, when is it that we're gonna see a guy win that, people
well,
usually
it's
don't
sad
see.
you're only getting into the sport now because it's just the last, I don't know, 70 years or something. Yeah, the guy who was leading all the time was pretty much like the guy from your favorite country, UK.
Oof.
Lewis Hamilton. You remember the name?
Yeah. Yes, I remember.
Yeah.
There was a UK player that joined this Discord for a few hours. No, that joined the Discord for a few hours and then gave up on Discord. I'm not going to talk about that, but if you know what I'm talking about, that just shows.
Oh yeah.
That piles up another instance of people from the country of England doing stuff indicative of the country of England.
Be careful what you say now.
I know, that's what I'll have to continue to do later on. This is just a practice, bro.
Okay.
But, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, shout out to the Perez guy. He won first place and all that. So, when's the next Formula One race, Hendrik? Was it 2 weeks?
2 weeks. Yeah.
Where is it at? Azerbaijan?
I don't remember.
I don't remember. Okay, I'm not gonna Google it. If somebody can say it in chat, that'd be great if they know when the next Formula 1 race is. And the NG Discord apparently is your one-stop shop for all things Formula 1, if you so want to watch it on whatever day it is on. Sunday, whatever the fuck it is. So stay tuned for that, obviously. Anyway, let's get to the memes now. So
Okay, I'm ready.
Yeah, already, yeah. It took like 4
I'm a
minutes. I'm a meme too. Now, so we had a meme go on in the CNR CNR Discord, the NG Discord earlier this week, and there's a lot to unfold here. Although, as always, I'm not the best person to talk about this because I don't really know the background. I took a look at the chat because I was there at the tail end of the memery, but I didn't really know what was going on. Besides that, we had beef between two parties.
Awesome.
Yes, very awesome. And again, this may not be the best thing to talk about, but it's content. And when it comes to content, good content, bad content, all content. You know what I mean? That's what we do around here. But anyway, ThunderDog got that ass out of here. The Discord earlier this week. Was trying to uncover what was going on. Of course, he had that rage with Phantom Penis a couple weeks ago in the Discord, which, like I said, led me to say, or reiterate, that text chat arguments are the most useless thing to be done mostly ever. And I think that really proved it. But we had an incident, obviously. I don't see how this topic is anything to quarrel about, but we had some Gnag rating, I guess, right? The two biggest Gnags on the server, 1, 2, 3, and LSM. You know what I mean? Sometimes I take a lot of pokes at LSM. On the CNR news a few times when we talked about Kate Angel owning the Gnag. And I said that she's going to administer testosterone injections to the entire Gnag. Now, obviously, you can take that many ways, right? Because if you say that somebody needs a testosterone injection, then that would imply that the group does not have testosterone, and they're kind of womanly, right? But again, we know what the CNR news is. It's 90% satire, you know what I mean? It's 90% meme, 90% satire, right? So, you know, as far as I know, nobody, at least to my knowledge, got mad at me talking about that. And if they did, right, then they would probably say something to me, and then we can plan accordingly. I can evaluate whether or not your disdain is worth me adjusting what I say, and we can work about it. What are you gonna say?
Did you talk about it on the last CNN news? Because I didn't listen to that yet.
I think it was probably the third to last. I don't know. I don't remember.
Okay.
Something about testosterone injections, because you know, I like to make fun of Mud Hut and how he's kind of whiny.
Okay, go into details now.
Oh, yeah. So anyway, I took a look at the logs of the Discord during this ThunderDog 123 rage, right? I'm trying to find where the screenshots are. Now, apparently, if I can put this together, because I'm going from what happened before the Discord conversation, not what happened on the Discord. So, apparently there was some Gnag rating, right? And ThunderDog had said that he believes that Los Santos Mafia is more mature than 123. You know, first of all, I don't know what we're talking about. Because that doesn't really mean anything, right? I mean, it's just it's an opinion about not very much, right? I don't think a lot of people really give snits about the collective maturity level of a Gnag. It's a Gnag at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Now, from what I can gather, and again, if what I'm saying is wrong, then somebody has to challenge me because I don't know what I'm talking about in some way. So, again, ThunderDog had this opinion about the Gnags, right? And after that, I suppose I'm not gonna say that the 123 Gnag had a disliking to what he said, right? But they took what he said and, they had a reaction to it, right? Let me give you an example. A slight example. So, there was this meme that happened in a different Discord a couple weeks ago. I'm not gonna say their names. I'm just gonna call them Dumbass number 1 and Dumbass number 2.
Whoa.
Now, this does not mean that they're dumbasses, but the way that this argument went on was very stupid. And if you're in the stage right now, and you recognize the people I'm talking about when I tell the story, then please don't say any names. You can snitch if you want, I don't care, but don't say any names. So there was a meme that happened a few weeks ago. So dumbass number 1 was being made fun of for something, right? But playfully. And then they said something like, oh, blah blah, I can't believe I'm still here with these guys making fun of me. And then they did one of those things at the end of their sentence. It's like a identifier to signal a joke. Like when you put LOL after something offensive, right? That would make it signify that it may be a joke, right? So dumbass number 2 comes up and says, why don't you just leave then? But dumbass number 2 didn't understand that dumbass number 1 was joking. Now, I'll get back to that. So then, dumbass number 1 starts raging at dumbass number 2. They have a back and forth for about, 30-45 minutes on the Discord in-text chat, obviously, right? In the behind the scenes, dumbass number 1 was like, oh, well, if they didn't get my joke, then obviously they're stupid. Then dumbass number 2 is stupid. Whereas dumbass number 1 and number 2 have almost no connection to each other, right? They don't speak. The only interaction that they had prior was another rage for like 2 seconds, right? So the dumbasses do not know their mannerisms, right? They don't know how they speak. They don't know their joking tendencies. They don't know anything about them, right? As I said before, a long time ago, when you joke with somebody that you don't know, then you have to expect retaliation to happen, right?
Yeah, sure.
That's right. That's right. So there are 2 facets when it comes to this situation, right? One is that when you make I don't want to say criticism, but when you make a judgment of something, right? Or judgment of people, where the person can retaliate to it, right? Or have a reaction. You cannot control how someone reacts to what you say. Or say about them, right? This is a bad example. But you go back to the Russia-Ukraine thing. Right? Ukraine wants to join NATO and all that, blah blah. Russia saw that as a threat, and they invaded the fucking country. Now, when it comes to reactions, there's no morality to a reaction, alright? Good or bad, a reaction can be made, alright? Russia felt threatened, So they went in and invaded. Again, the moral thing is to not invade the country, obviously. But you cannot control how somebody takes... you can't control how, what am I trying to say? When you say something to somebody, you cannot control their reaction, okay? You may say something that may be benign, and then they come back at you with a fierce fire, okay? And I don't know how this 123 LSM, conversation started, or whatever, but apparently the 123 Gnag came back and started to troll ThunderDog a bit, right? Now, I don't know whether or not it was excessive. And obviously everybody has a different gauge of what they perceive to be harassment or whatever. Like, different people can tolerate different things, you know what I mean? I know, Tank, it's all troll, right? But, there are some people that don't... They're not used to certain behaviors, you know what I mean? And I don't know whether or not ThunderDog played crazy bombs, but if he didn't, then obviously he wouldn't understand the level of trollitude that what the 123 Gnag was doing, or would do. Conceited, thanks PM from Conceited, he said, started when ThunderDog wanted a kill house fight between 123 and LSM, I think. Is that where he put his opinion about whether or not one Gnag was more mature than the other? Waiting for PM from Conceited, because I suppose that's where it started. Now, let's go to the Discord part now, because I saw that Xlazine posted a link, because I think Xlazine is in 123, right? He posted a link in general chat to the media channel, and he posted the link to ThunderDog's video of where I think it was Xlazine crashed into Chabs as he was about to get arrested by Chabs, right? First of all, I don't know if that's even legal for him to do that. That could be DM, which is funny. But then Xlazine called ThunderDog the Karen boy.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Whoa, 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 whoa. That's very important to say, right? Because this is very inflammatory. Now, I agree that that's very inflammatory, you know what I mean? Although, his name has been shown as a moniker these days for people who complain too much. And that's, I would say, I like to say I started that, but, I suppose not. But he called ThunderDog the Karen boy, and that's, again, it's very inflammatory, and I do agree that's very inflammatory, you know what I mean? So I do understand why ThunderDog got mad that Xlazine did that. And that is a bit off cuff, or out of cuff, whatever the saying is, you know what I mean? Because when I read that, I was like, why is he mad? But then I read it again, I was like, oh, okay, now I understand why he'd been mad at it. But the handling, I guess on both sides, was not very good. First of all, whenever you feel like you're being harassed, whenever you feel like there's a big problem going on, okay? Don't put it and don't make a huge argument in Discord. Right? This is a public service announcement, right? If you have a beef with somebody or a group of people, don't put it in Discord. Discord's probably the worst place to organize a resolution. Excuse me, text chat Discord is probably the worst place to have or want to have a resolution to a problem. Conceited said, I told ThunderDog to go and voice with whoever he doesn't like and talk it out like men. That's where I want to go to this.
Well,
go ahead.
We used to have, if you wanna, you got a problem, you got a beef going on. Where did you settled it out. You went to dry lake.
Yeah,
so
dry
we
lake.
need something similar, I guess.
Yes, we need somewhere on the map to designate to be the 1v1 area.
Yo, brother, you got a problem with me. Come to dry lake. 1-1-1.
MRPD, lel. That's right, Conceited. I'll get to that in a second, Conceited. That's right. So, I've got this but this screenshot right here. So, Conceited told ThunderDog, if it makes you feel any better, whoever you got problems with, take it to voice chat and talk it out like men. And then he said, why the fuck would I want to speak to any of them?
True.
Here been the thing, alright? I've got another example. I'll get to Flutterby's question in a bit. So, in 2nd grade, I had this issue with the kid, right?
Oh no.
And I felt like he was making fun of me too much, taking set on me. And snits, right? Yeah, you can say bullied in 2nd grade, you know what I mean? What did I do? Now, Hendrik, what do you do when you've got a dude, little kid, 2nd grade?
Give him a bottle of milk.
I love milk. Well, that's one way to do it. But when I felt like this guy was taking set on me, right? I told the teacher. What the teacher did was have us face to face, right? Have us face to face. I tell the kid that I don't like what he's saying. What we did was shake hands. It took like 2 minutes, alright? For the rest of the school year, we were good. No problem whatsoever. Conversely, in 8th grade, I remember there was this guy, and this will put me in a very bad light, by the way. There was this guy that was friends with him, right? 8th grade. He got a haircut one day, right? And then I looked at the back of his head, and I noticed the back of his head was shaped like a butt.
Oh no.
And I was like, oh shit!
That ass.
Whoa, no. So I was like, yo, you butthead. So I used to call him Butthead, right? And it spread kind of a little bit. So three other people, this one day, right, in class, right, 8th grade. This is gonna make me look even worse, right? So there was a time, or multiple times actually, in 8th grade where I'd rip out a piece of paper from my notebook, right? I don't know why I would do this. It's a waste of paper. And then I would wipe the back of his head. Because I used to call him Butthead. Alright? So, I laugh because, I laughed when I did it. But, anyway, so there was this one day, right? There were 3 or 4 of us that would call him Butthead. Alright? So he put his head down. And one of the teachers noticed his head was down. And when that happened, I was like, oh shit. That's not good. We're gonna have a problem here. So, he pointed to the 4 of us, right? I don't remember which gender the teacher was, but they took us outside. Not outside, but in the hallway. And told us not to mess with them. Right? Then after that, that was it. I didn't wipe his head with paper anymore. Alright? I still called him Butthead for the rest of high school, but I didn't wipe his head anymore, okay? But for that, because obviously the act of somebody, ripping a piece of paper out of a notebook and wiping their head with it is a very crude thing to look at. So after that encounter, it was done. You know what I mean? Now, this is the problem when Conceited had told ThunderDog that, or a way to stop the, what he perceives as harassment, right? Because the thing is that there are people that seem to want admin intervention to everything, right? First of all, it would be better and easier to, as Conceited said, talk it out like men. Because if you don't talk it out with the person that you're having the beef with, then what are we doing? Right? And admin can come in and say, oh shit, men, stop telling this guy that, stop calling him Karen. Or stop calling him Karen boy, or whatever the fuck it is, or whatever case may be. But there's no respect there. Now I understand that, the respect thing is kind of a meme, but it is kind of true. Now, if you have to have someone else tell you not to do something, then it's kind of a side eye, you're kind of a bitch type of thing, right? But if ThunderDog himself, he could have done it with Colgate, which I'll get to in a little bit, right? Because, when it comes to Colgate, for example, as I said on the CNN News, and I understand that ThunderDog does not understand because he's not been around for a very long time, so he doesn't understand how some people act. When you've been around for this long, you take people a lot less seriously, you know what I mean? And Colgate's had his antics in other places where people have taken him a bit too seriously, and all that. And this is just another instance of it. But, like I said, when it comes to the instance of why would I want to talk to any of them, you're basically saying that you want this to continue. That's what it'd be. Because your first course of action should not always be, shit, admin, you fuck with me. Admin, fix. Admin, bliss. You know what I mean? I don't see how that really nips it in the bud. And there's also a problem when I looked at some other clips, not clips, but screenshots in the chat. Cecil asked, because Cecil's trying to get involved here, he was like, PM the names of who's harassing. And then ThunderDog says, would that even make a difference? I mean, at this point, looking at that, I'm like, we're trying to keep the rage high. Like, when somebody comes at you and is trying to resolve a situation, you can't, they ask you a question, they want an answer, but you give them a question. You answer them with a question. It's like, bro, do you want the problem to stop or not? Because we don't sit on this Discord watching all the lines come through.
I kind of do, but okay.
Really?
Go on. Yeah, don't talk about it now.
Okay, I'm back. Where was I?
Reading every line on the Discord.
Yeah, I was gonna take a big fat snit, obviously. But when someone's trying to inquire about an issue, you have to be supportive. Okay? You have to give them the details of what's going on. Because like I said, we don't read this Discord 24/7, right? We don't know what's going on all the damn time. People like me are not on the server, right? So we're not all of us know about what is going on when it comes to the happenings or the verbal text chat rages that go on. You know what I mean? So you have to tell us the situation, right? And Cecil then later on said, have you complained to any of the admins? Again, this is a question. He replies with, you're an admin, right? You're currently reading the chat. What's been happening? Question. And you're telling me that I need to specifically name who's harassing me when you can clearly see it happening? Question. Again, a question replied by 3 questions. You know what I mean? And this was a very fast-paced conversation, right? So people like me and Hendrik are kind of slow. You know what I mean? We're getting older, right? So we have to analyze shit a bit before we act on something, right? And by the time you go back and read chat, he left the Discord or some shit. You know what I mean? So I don't know what to really compare it to, but when somebody asks you a question and you reply with a question, then we're not getting anything done here. You know what I mean? And I'm going to take a look at the forearm, because before the show, I meant to take a look at the forearm to see if he put anything on the forearm when it comes to the 1-2-3 Gnag. And I'm looking at the forearm right now. I don't see anything. You know what I mean? So we're going off of Discord logs, which again, Discord, like I said, is the worst place to, I don't want to say the word complain, but complain about something. You know what I mean? Because there's so much clutter in Discord that you can't really make a judgment here or there. We are not willing to nip it in the bud amongst ourselves. You know what I mean? Again, if I have a problem with somebody, then you pull them aside, you tell them the problem. Because if you can get them into an isolated, area, right? Because obviously, if you have a problem with somebody in-game, and, you've got the open world, you got the chat and all this shit, that's not really the best place to, finish a beef, you know what I mean? But you PM them, you forearm PM them, you go into the voice chat, somewhere you can get somebody in an isolated setting. You tell them how you feel, and then somebody may be taken aback by that, and then they'll stop what they're doing. But
the point, like, if you are willing to complain about something in the Discord or wherever, but you are not willing to answer when someone is trying to help you.
Yeah.
Because you think it doesn't make any sense. I mean, it wouldn't make any change. What change will they?
What change will happen?
Yeah.
Yes. What change will happen? I mean, if you don't cooperate, then there's not going to be anything to be resolved. You know what I mean? And then later on, let me just make sure if I got the screenshots here. Actually, I don't. But then I think Melfog came in, right? And I think I came in as well. In fact, let me go back to the conversation. I don't want to misrepresent anything. Because this is the point where just before he got that ass out of here. So I don't want to fuck around with what I'm saying here. I want to go back to where Melofog came in. Oh, yes, the connection between admins in the 1-2-3 Gnag and the 1-2-3 Gnag not having any punishment potential. I'm not too sure where that connection gets made. If someone else can tell me, because I don't understand. Conceited just PM me saying, correct me if I'm wrong, dude. If you show people you're being bothered by what they say, they'll see that you're soft and continue to troll you. I mean, that is true, but the thing about it is that different people have different adaptations to the memory of the internet. You know what I mean? Now, name me a guy who's been here like for a very long time. Like, has been here since Crazy Bob's.
Us.
Okay, fuck Davis, even though this is not really what he would do, but
you think
Fuck Davis would not be in the situation because he's been around here for so long that a lot of the stuff that people say is memery, and he'll know that as soon as he reads it. You know what I mean? But you have to give the benefit of the doubt to ThunderDog that he's been here for a couple of months. As far as I know, I don't remember if he played Crazy Bobs or not. I assume he didn't. But he is, I would assume that he is not used to the memory of the internet. You know what I mean? Which is part of the reason why this went on like this, because a lot of the people on the server would not construe this as harassment. But again, your definition of that word depends on who you are. You know what I mean? But I'm not blaming ThunderDog for that. It's just that he just doesn't get the show. You know what I mean? But the thing about it, like I said, is that if you have a beef with a person or people, you have to directly tell people what they're doing wrong. Or else, if they see you raging in a public chat, because again, I've had this issue before where I've had a beef with somebody, right? And I say it out loud, say it in public, and then after a while, I realized that publicizing my beef made it worse for me than the other person. Former co-host last December had a beef with somebody, then publicized it. It made her look worse, at least in my opinion. When you have a beef, all right, you just don't project it to the world, all right, because that'll just make you look even more like a bitch, all right? You gotta nip it in the bud the best you can, you know what I mean? And that's what this man had to do, or has to do, okay? And again, like I had said, when it came to the saying that the 123 Gnag was, what was the word? Immature, or whatever the fuck it is, right? When people in that Gnag see that, they can choose to have a retaliation or a reaction to it, right? Now, this isn't like DM or some shit where you kill not DM, but you kill somebody, then they kill you, and then you kill somebody again, right? Like, there's no cap on a reaction. You can say one thing, and then other people can pile on reactions to the one thing that you said. And especially when you are projecting views on a Gnag, which is multiple people, by the way, it's more than just one person, then you're going to get retaliation or reaction from many people, not just one person, right? If LSM got offended when I said that the Kate Angel feminist group is going to inject all the male members with testosterone, then theoretically they could all come back at me and talk snit back to me, right? Because I'm only one person, right? And I talk snit to a dozen people, right? And I can't control the level of reaction that they have, you know what I mean? Now, 50 Cent once said, and I meant to say this at the beginning of the show, and I don't remember the exact quote. 50 Cent once said that if you treat every misfortune that comes upon you as your fault, then you'll feel a lot better. You'll let it go a lot better. You know what I mean? And I think I've adopted that, right? Because there have been memes that have happened where I think that I was wrongfully done. But I realize that there are some things in that situation where I did wrong. And I may have not thought that I was the main reason that the wrong happened, but I still have some responsibility for the wrong. So I'm like, okay, if I didn't do this and this and this and this, then this misfortune would not have happened to me. So at some point, I just can't blame anybody but myself. Now, even though I am I like to victim blame a lot, I'm not saying that this is fully ThunderDog's misconduct, obviously, because again, with Exlazine calling him the Karen boy, even with Melfag calling him the Karen boy, all of that is obviously inflammatory, and whatever reaction that he would have would be warranted, you know what I mean? Which is why he got that ass out of his Discord. But on both sides, obviously, it could have been a lot better. And this is why, as I said for the past couple of weeks, that people that engage in text chat rage if you're in the middle of text chat rage, right? If you believe that you are, I don't want to say the victim in this, but if you are the victim, right? You have to take it back a little bit and be like, is this worth doing? Right? Is the text chat rage worth doing? Okay. And if it's not, you gotta stop, because it just makes you look more like somebody who whines a lot. And nobody likes a cocksucker who whines a lot. You know what I mean? That's what it'd be. But you've got a public service announce, like I said before, on the Sierra News, is that if you take Colgate seriously, then, my man, what are you doing? Okay, what are you doing, first of all? And I've seen so many people take Colgate seriously over the past couple of weeks, and I'm like, ah, shit, damn. Didn't think it would get to this, right? But again, you take him seriously, you know what you're getting into. I just want to say that right now. So any future person that gets into a meme with Colgates, if you take him seriously, you know what you're getting into. Okay. And that also comes to what kind of action do you want an admin to do when you believe that you're being harassed? Now, obviously, if the man posted on the forum, right, and had screenshots, instances of him being called the Karen boy, or whatever the case may have been, or whatever other verbal abuse that you may have been subjected to, then that could be something we could look at, and then we could plan off of that. But like I said before, you know, again, as I said in the beginning, I'm not the best person to talk about this, because when I've kind of been desensitized to it, because as a babby on Crazy Bombs, obviously, you know, there are a lot of problem things in chats. You know what I mean? A lot of problem things. As I said in the series, there's a lot of racist, sexist things, you know, other verbally abusive snits. But it was the norm of the server at that time, right? So I didn't think or feel like I could complain to anybody when it came to that thing. So I was just like, you know, I'm just gonna throw it to the side, because if there's nothing else I can do about it, then I can't let this stop me from having fun on the server. You know what I mean? Now, obviously, a lot of those, you know, memes in chat were indirect. I guess this is more of a direct thing. But I suppose when it comes to ThunderDog, I don't really relate as well, and that's fine, I suppose. You know what I mean? But I don't completely relate, which is why I'm not the best person to talk about his situation. You know what I mean? And again, like I said, if I'm saying anything wrong, then somebody should challenge me, because if you don't challenge me, then I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know what wrong I'm saying. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, the best thing to do when you have a beef with somebody is to do what Nuno and Ravon did. Find an isolated area to speak, alright? Tell the person what they're doing.
I love
wrong,
you.
What the fuck? Hey! I mean, you can say that too, but tell the person.
How good did that turn out? Like, where are they now?
I mean, they could be together, I guess. I mean, I don't know. If you say I love you, they can be together. I don't know, but yeah, you tell the person what they're doing wrong. You tell the person what you know, the bad things they're saying, quote unquote, right? And then, like I said, the person that's talking the snit may be taken aback by it, and then they may stop. Okay, now if they don't stop, then you can take it to a different venue. But that, I think, is the best way to deal with conflicts, right? You don't shout it to the masses. because it just makes you look like a bitch, alright? And I say that very purposely, alright? If, for example, Tank, you know, what something bad he could say about me, I forgot.
Anything?
Yeah, anything, you know, that's... I can't say anything bad on myself. Yeah, if he calls me a beach, right? And every time he sees me, he calls me a beach, right? And then, guys, are you gonna not do anything about this guy calling me a beach? It's verbal harassment. He's fucking with me all the damn time. He keeps calling me a beach. Anyone looking at that chat would be like, you fucking kidding me, man? Is this what you're complaining about? So, you've got a nip in the bud. In this situation, I'd tell Tank, yo, man, I don't know who you are or why you're mad, but I'd appreciate it if you don't call me a beach every time you see me. Right? He could be taken aback by that, and he may stop. Right? That is a valid way to go at it. So, you know, that's what it'd be. So, but again, both sides had their issues. You know what I mean? Like I said, ThunderDog shouldn't have publicized his, you know, rage in the Discord, as he shouldn't have with Phantom Penis, in my opinion. And, you know, Exlazine and Mellowfog shouldn't have called him Karen. The Karen boy, rather. But in the end, the worst scenario came out because now ThunderDog is going back to his dungeon of affirmation, right? Because, you know, whenever there is a problem with things and things are not sorted out, people then have camaraderie with people that also have the same view, and that's called affirmation. You know, it's not you know, affirmation is very different from a fact. You know what I mean? Like, affirmation is more like a mutual feeling that you say it enough, it becomes a truth, but it's not really a truth. Yeah, I mean, that's basically what's happening right now. But again, whenever you have a problem, somebody asks you a question, tries to inquire to you about it, and you answer the question with a question. And at this point, you don't really want the problem to be solved at this point. We are not omniscient. Like, we don't know everything. We don't have a downloadable scanner that downloads chat to our brain from the NG Discord, so we always know what the fuck's going on. You know, you've gotta tell people situations going on as if they know nothing, and then something may happen. So that's what it be. That's all I gotta say about that. I think I went in the circles a lot for a few times there, but that's what it be. Somebody also said something about the soybean oil.
Whoa.
But like I said, text chat arguments and soybean oil kind of have an analogy to it, or analogous. So I ain't gonna go off. I'm not gonna move off of that, to be quite honest with you. And he's American, so it's just like how I go to the store and get the Hidden Valley Ranch, look at the back and see there's soybean oil on the list of ingredients. I was taken aback by that. But again, more of the story, ladies and gentlemen. Stop having text chat arguments. If you have a problem with somebody, don't blow it out into the Discord, man. I mean, it's just not good. Not very good. Anyway, let's get off that. Again, the show is brought to you by Citizens Against Soybean Oil, CASO. Alright? We need to change the way that American food is processed, because soybean oil is making our men more feminine. It is shrinking our balls and lowering sperm counts. So we need to get the soybean oil out of our diets, and only you can prevent it. Tell Congress right now to mandate to remove soybean oil out of every product in America. Because we are meant to be men. Anyway, so before we get into Reeee, did you hear about... so America has this thing, right, with the guns and all that, right? We had another school shooting in all my exes live in Texas this week. You heard about that?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. The typical Europe response. This makes it sound bad. Is that we have too many guns and guns are destroying our snit and all that. Although I'll still stand by that I'd rather get shot than get stabbed with a knife. That's for damn sure. But the problem in America with the guns is that any dumbass can get a gun. That's the problem. I mean, everything revolves around money. Right? It's all about that cash. Everything revolves around money. That's why soybean oil is in so much of our foods, because it's the cheapest oil to use. You know what I mean? If olive oil weren't so expensive, then people would put olive oil in food products, not soybean oil, right? I'm sure it costs more cash to have people go through an actual mental background check to make sure that people are mentally fit to own a gun, right? Because the more guns you sell, the more money you make. So apparently, who gives a fuck about the cognitive ability of these people? You know what I mean? Because the guy, I don't remember for sure, if the guy went to a gun shop and just bought a gun and shot somebody, or shot the school, whatever the fuck it is. I don't remember how he got the gun, but if America had a system where people could evaluate people's mentals before they could allow people to buy a gun, then we'd probably be better off. Problem with that is that if the mentally unfit can't get the gun, then they can just get one illegally, which I guess removes all point of the mental background check. And then after that, I don't have a solution. You know what I mean? But, I guess in some way you've got to nip in the bud in the way that we've got to figure out why our little kids in America are growing up disturbed that they have to end up doing this. You know what I mean? These shootings only happen in America. Well, it's got to be something, man. Something in the food. Could be the soybean oil. I mean, who knows, man? But there's got to be something that is fucking up our kids psychiatrically. That's even a word. For kids to be doing this, because people in the UK don't stab people in schools, right? Although, I mean, theoretically, it's easier to bring a knife into a school, right? If small one, right? I remember in high school, people used to bring knives to school. The guy who I said was butthead before, he brought a knife to school a few times, a lot of times actually. He took it out and showed us. The knife was for me, yeah. If I wiped his head one more time, he would have stabbed me. For real. But, yeah, people in the UK don't do this. They don't stab people in the school, as far as I know. You know what I mean? So, there's gotta be something in the food or some shit that's fucking us up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, more people, more problems, I guess.
More people, more problems. Yeah, that could be. That could be. I mean, got a pretty huge population. It's although, and there's not a lot of countries that have like open carry of guns legislature or some shit. You know what I mean? So it's kind of tough to deal with that. And in some way, it's kind of gone bad because there are more guns than people in this country, right? So, not one solution can fix everything, but if people would go on the side of morality and not cash, which they're never going to do, then they'd put a background check, mental background check, some of these dudes, so they don't buy a fucking gun. You know what I mean? That's what it'd be. Anyway, let's go to a Reeee, Hendrik. Let me see how long we've been here.
Yeah, sure.
Been here for a while, huh? Agree or Reeee? Let's get to it. Let me find my tablet here because I gotta get the sound things. Oh, Tony Solar, I forgot to say. I don't know if I said it last week, but that thing you told me to download. The thing you told me to download a few weeks ago. I didn't download it, so I need you to put it back so I can download it. So I can try to tinker with it. You can play the sounds through stage or. Anyway, let's get to the Agree or Reeee here. I didn't proofread these before we came here, so let's start it. First, Agree or Reeee, Hendrik. If a warrant dies by hitman in range of a cop, the cop should get less of a reward or no reward.
Wait, can you repeat?
I said if a warrant dies by a hitman in the range of a cop, the cop should get no reward or less reward. Less or no reward, I mean. Agree or Reeee?
Reeee? I don't know.
Reeee is what Hendrik says. Ducati said depends if the cop did any damage to him. Well, I'm gonna say it's a big Reeee. Again, this is what, for partially the reason of what Ducati said. If the cop has a hand in damaging the warrant, and because here's the thing, right? Let's just set up this scenario, and you can tell me whether or not this is a scenario that makes sense. Right? I'm open to feedback on this. Hitman is chasing cop. Excuse me, hitman is chasing a hit contract, which is also a civilian. And a cop is also chasing the warrant, who also has a hit contract, right? Let's say car on fire, the warrant's car is on fire, right? The warrant comes out. At this moment, the warrant is not arrestable, right? But he's killable, obviously. So the hitman, by whatever means they have, within the 5 seconds or even longer, kills their hit contract, right? Before the cop can even arrest. And then you get less reward for it. But it's not your fault, because you were in the chase, you were trying to get this cocksucker. But because of the mechanics of the server, plus other things, you can't get the arrest before the hitman gets the kill, right? So I don't think the cop should be penalized for that. I mean, they should get the full reward. Ducati's asked, open to impromptu suggestion. Yes. Yes, put it in the chat right now. I want to hear what you've been saying. So, for me, that's a big Reeee. Reeee! I don't think, the difference is kind of minuscule anyway. Like, what are you gonna cut his cash in half, cut the arrest bonus in half? I mean, I don't think it really means anything. But yeah, Ducati can put his idea in the chat as we move on to the next Agree or Reeee. Hendrik. I don't think you are aware of this, and I'm barely aware of this as well, but the RGB color changer for the Los Santos Customs should change from sliders to putting in actual numbers. Agree or Reeee?
If they say so, yeah, sure, why not? I know something we have similar is not that great at the moment.
Yeah, I agree. And I also say agree. As far as I saw a few days ago, that the RGB things were sliders. Now, first of all, they take a long... As far as I remember anyway, I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, someone say. But they take quite a while to move, right? Even if you hold down your right arrow key or some shit, they take a while to move, you know? So imagine you trying to change the values of 6 settings, because there's the primary and the secondary colors, if applicable, right? It'll take a long time to change your vehicle color, you know what I mean? So, if possible, right, it should either go back to what it was, or have some way where you can input values in some snits. That would be a bit better. Pretty intuitive, in my opinion. Next degree of Reeee Hendrik, if player A kills player B for an unreciprocated hit, there should be a cooldown for when player A should be able to place another hit on player B. Agree or Reeee? Want me to explain?
I didn't quite follow.
Okay, let's say player A places a hit on player B.
Can you talk with names? Better X.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's say that Jinasuk places a hit on Elas, but Elas does not place the hit back. Let's say Elas kills Jinasuk to cancel the hits. Jinasuk, right now, apparently, can immediately place a hit back on Elas because he killed him just now. Should there be a cooldown for another hit to be placed, or should it just be instant?
Yeah, sure.
I don't think he got it, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think he got it.
I mean, like, there is the cooldown for putting a hit, but I think it's...
Cox. See, that shows how much I know, huh?
Well, I don't even really put hits, because I don't, you know,
don't put
the
hits
game
either.
doesn't get under my skin, you know?
Yeah, I don't put hits either. I don't think there's a point. Oh, wait, I don't want to say that.
I'm just saying the normal cooldown is enough.
The normal cooldown's enough. Well,
Yeah, what do we have?
well, I would say Reeee, because at some points, unless this is a brain thing, right? Let's say there could be a few things. Let's say, for example, Jinasuk. Excuse me, Elas kills Jinasuk for the hit that he placed on him. And then 24 minutes later, right, there's a cooldown of like 24 minutes. And then let's say that Jinasuk still remembers the kill, right? Jinasuk can just then place another hit after the cooldown, right? And then you have to deal with that, you know, more far out, right, as opposed to dealing with it now. So it's basically, do you want to deal with it now or later? It's basically what a cooldown does. You know what I mean? Although, can someone tell me the buying life insurance while you have a hit contract, is that still a problem? Somebody say in chat.
Yeah.
That's still a problem?
Still as retarded as before, yeah.
Okay, well that's where a cooldown makes sense. But if that were fixed, then a cooldown doesn't make any sense. But yeah, I'm a little astounded that that's still a thing, because you know
it's really bad actually. Like,
yeah, it
like
is.
we spoke before, like you can't go and buy a life insurance if you need it. And what's more stupid is that if you enter the city hall from the back door, all of a sudden you'll be teleported to the front with even more stupid animation. And you're like, what?
That's a problem. That's a big problem.
Yeah.
Wait, Lonnie just PM'd me saying, if you kill someone in Siege, you'll get the hit money but not wanted. I don't got a problem with that. I don't got a problem with that. That's an opportunity right there. I don't got a problem with that. Although, the guy probably won't lose his life insurance, will he? But yeah, I don't got a problem with that. It's a bug, but it's a very friendly bug. It's like good bacteria in the gut. I think it's a very good bug. But yeah, you know, not being able to buy life insurance with a hit contract is very damaging. It is very damaging. So that should definitely. I'm not too sure why that wasn't on the to-do list, like near the top, because that is very damaging. It's not like, for example, if you have a hit contract and the life insurance, you get a lot of money, and you die. That's very damaging. So that should definitely be fixed. But if that ever does get fixed, I don't see the point. I would say Reeee to this one. But for now, it makes sense. Oh, I skipped over one. Last degree Reeee, Hendrik. Paramedics should not be able to disarm bombs during a power plant robbery.
A lot of talk about paramedics recently, right? Huh?
Yeah, a lot of talk, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. Very tough. Very tough.
I don't know. I don't care, really.
You don't play paramedic, huh?
I've played sometimes. What do I play? I guess everybody knows what I play.
I usually play Cup, so... I would say a big agree, though. I think... And this was a conversation a bit before. I don't know where it went. I don't know where it went, rather, but... there needs to be more distinctiveness. Yeah, I'm saying this as if I know anything, but... You know, here's the thing, guys. Like... If I talk about general things, like I kind of, for the most part, know what I'm talking about, right? When it comes to talking about NG things, I know on a baseline what I'm talking about, but I don't know the nitty gritty. You feel me? So when it comes to what I say, you can combine my opinion with your opinion, which may be a lot more like valuable, because people that play this game have a lot better of an opinion than I do, right? Not every opinion is created equal. Like, for example, if two people say the same thing, it doesn't always mean the same thing. And I had a good example for this, but I don't really remember. Like, if someone says a statement, and it looks like they abide or align with the statements, it is more believable, or more believable than the person that says the same thing, but doesn't seem like they align with the statement. That doesn't make any sense. But, you know, when it comes to my opinion on this, it is not as informed as some of y'all listening would be. But I think there should be more of a dichotomy between police, or paramedics and cops, right? And when it comes to paramedics being able to defuse bombs in the power plant, it sounds like a complete meme. It's a complete meme.
Yeah, I mean, like, to change something, I think it should be a problem. And I understand the point of paramedics not able to arrest, because I've seen it being confusing to people.
Oh, yeah.
But what comes to the bomb thing?
Medics bomb squad.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think they should be more of a support group to cops, right? Have a paramedic working with you when you play cop. That to me makes sense, right?
I guess you also want to have the skill, so people would still also play it. If you narrow the things they can even do, I think it might have an effect.
Yeah, it would. You know, a few months ago, I was kind of surprised that not every cop plays medic, because, you know, paramedic at the time, you know, if you say who cares to ticketing, right, then at that time at least, paramedics could basically do most of what cops could do. It's just that with being paramedic, it takes a lot more common sense. I don't know if paramedics can see the warrant list, can they? Can somebody say in chat if paramedics can see the warrant list?
I think we should play that game more to discuss this.
You can see the what the hell? Paramedics can see the. Well, wait. Kimvian just said, right now that medic skill is used so you can play cop to heal yourself without any animation. Well, yeah, exactly. But if paramedics can see the warrant list, because I don't think they could, or they cannot. What? Which one is it? All right. Well, I don't. Okay. They can't. Okay. I know why decoy can't. I'm not gonna say it. But if you use common sense, you'll figure it out. Okay, they can't. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. So you need more common sense if you're gonna play cop as a as a paramedic, right? You can just do /I or some shit, right? Track, whatever. So it takes more common sense, but there should still be more of a dichotomy between medic and cop, to be honest with you. So when it comes to disarming bombs, that seems to be a meme to me. So somebody can steal my suggestion and be like, yo, medics should not be able... Wait. This was my bad. I stole the suggestion. Who made the suggestion on the forum? My bad. If I just took somebody's suggestion as mine by accident. Who was it? It was Primitive. My bad. Primitive, yeah. So he made that suggestion. I think it's a very good one. Medics should not be able to. So we're almost done, but I just want to say one more thing about the meme fiasco when it comes to Discord meme that happened earlier this week, right? And again, this is my opinion, right? This is my opinion. So don't lump everybody into a ball, right? If you disagree with what I about to say, then you can, but it's not indicative of anyone else of a group, right? But a lot of times when people get into conflicts, they flash their credentials and what they've done, as if it's gonna be a deterrence to people for talking snit, right? Now, people that report bugs, obviously very appreciative, and it's the most appreciative for people that are fixing bugs, right? They're the coders and all that shit. It's a very good thing, right? Very good thing to report bugs and all that. Blah, blah. But especially when you get into a conflict with a neutral party, right? And you get into beef or whatever the case may be, people don't care about your credentials, okay? And by don't care, I don't necessarily mean they evaluate what you say. They say, you say, oh shit, I report bugs, so don't fuck with me. They just probably don't have it in mind as they're talking snits. Right? I mean, your credentials or whatever the fuck you do for whatever it is, server or people or the case may be, your credentials can't be a shield for for people snit talking. I mean, if I made more videos, which, soon enough I'll release the hide and seek anniversary event video, which I should have a long time ago, but let's say that I was making videos at a very high rate, right? And guys were talking snit to me, whatever it is, right? I got snit talked every day or whatever the case may be, right? On the Discord. I can't be like, yo, men, what are you doing? I make a lot of videos for the server. I spend a lot of time editing and making entertainment for the server, and this is the thanks I get from all of these people? That's not like that's not a deterrence for people talking. You cannot flash what you do for a collective thing and expect people to give a snit. You know what I mean? Especially when they don't know. So when it comes to ThunderDog, right, you can't flash your credentials and expect people to lay off. You know what I mean? That just doesn't really work. I've seen it before, right? Because other people, not him, but other people have, they find bugs, they report bugs, and they expect a certain level of respect from everybody. It's kind of similar to donating in some way, in the sense that, yes, you donated to the server, and it is very appreciated to do so. And you can take pride in that you are helping for the advancement of the server, right? But that doesn't absolve you of any problems that you may have in the future. You know what I mean, let's say I donate $150 to the server, or let's say I report 25 bugs. But then I'm not saying he's doing this, but let's say I be an asshole in chat every single day. Right? I talk snits and all this, and then I get my ass banned. I can't say, shit man, I donate so much money, I report so much bugs. You can't ban me! I did so much! Okay? Obviously when you do positive things, it reflects on you in a positive way, right? And when there are situations where, you know, events may happen, or you know, good things may happen or something, you'll be in mind when it comes to, saying this completely badly, things of favor, you know what I mean? But positive things and negative things, they're not heterogeneous. You know, like you cannot do bad things and be like, look at my good things. They combine. If you do enough good and enough bad, it cancels each other out, right? If you do some good and a lot of bad, then you're probably bad. If you do a lot of good and some bad, then again, it combines in some way, right? You cannot look at situations and be like, oh, respect, I don't deserve this disrespect because I do a lot of positive things. It just doesn't really work that way. At least in my opinion. You know what I mean? It's not like a salad, because a lot of people, when it comes to this, they think of this as a salad, right? You put in your lettuce, your croutons, your tomatoes, your kale, or some shit. But you can separate all of those, right? This is not what this is, right? This is more like when you have, you're making tea, right? You got your tea, you put your sugar in. After that, it combines, all right? It's homogeneous, right? You cannot then extract the sugar from the tea. You can, yes, but, you know, I'm not speaking in a scientific way, right? Once you put the tea in the sugar, they combine, okay? So, the notion that I deserve respect because I've done A, B, and C, which are positive, when D, E, and F can put you in a bad light, they all combine. Alright, so that's what it be. That's what it is. I've seen many instances of people, and again, I'm not saying he's doing this, but I've seen many instances of people that, you know, think that they've done a lot of great stuff, or have done a lot of great stuff, but then think they have the entitlement from the masses, right? That they don't deserve to be talked to in a certain way. You know what I mean? It just doesn't work like that. So that's what it be. I understand. I'm sure I've had a lot of holes in what I've explained here today when it comes to that situation, and if you have or consume an alternate opinion, then it's completely fine. Which is why I keep saying that if I say anything out of the ordinary, say anything wrong, then I would love if somebody would say that I'm saying something wrong, so that I can learn a different dynamics of the conversation. But until then, we've been finished. Hendrik is already done. Team, he already gone. So more of the story is, ladies and gentlemen, as I keep saying every week, if you have a beef, you've got to get that guy, or guys, one by one possibly, into an isolated venue. Because whenever there's a lot of snit talk happening in chat, There's a lot of people involved, a lot of different chaos. So you know, when it comes to main chat, when it comes to Discord or in game, if you have a beef, you know, public chat is not the best way to remedy a situation. You've got to pull them aside, tell them what's going on, and hopefully they'll comply to your concern. That's what it'd be, because there are a lot of situations where people have issues. People are trying to fix those issues, but by the way that the person is speaking that is having those issues, it seems clear that those issues they don't want those issues to be hashed, and we can just make a stink bomb of it, and it can be a big problem. I mean, so as Conceited said, act like mun, duke it out in voice chats, and you'll be good. Like I said, there have been many situations where, you know, I don't like interviews, but I've interviewed people on this show that I didn't really like or care for. And at the end of it, I'm like, oh shit, they're actually a really good person. You know? So, that's really what y'all should really get to do. Colgate and ThunderDog should definitely get in the voice. They should hash it out, and then we can have a good reaction or outcome to it. You know what I mean? If not, then it'll just continue to fester. So that's what it'd be. And the more of a stink that you make of it, the more conclusions that you draw from something that may necessarily not be true, the less that people are going to want to be involved in your situation. Everybody has to be equally culpable for their situation. Like I said before, on one side, ThunderDog seemed like, you know, he was answering questions with questions, right? Not really getting it on when it comes to trying to resolve the situation. And on the other side, I shouldn't have been called the Karen Boy. Even though, you know, I see, as I said before, the moniker of that has been to label people who complain too much, which, you know, I'm guilty of doing a lot. So that's what it be. Anyway, that's the end of the Punkery show. We've been here for a while. We'll have the show next week on Saturday, most likely. If not, then take a look at your local CNR News to see if there's a change in time or dates. So, Hendrik's already gone. This has been Rashawn. We'll see you next time on the Punkery show. T.Y. Rashawn. Thank you, Fag Davis. And enjoy the rest of your... Delete the channel right now.